It's me, it's me, it's the GOC. It's 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and we are ready to dive into WWE Survivor Series War Games. We are live to tape here in the lounge at Chaos Corner. I'll say that to say this because I tell it like it is. It's a big event. I already put up on YouTube my rundown of the 5 or 6 bouts that we're going to have. It's going to be an unbelievable event from Beantown, Boston, if you will. And we're here in the shadows of Titan Towers. Who knew the GOC would be coming home to the WWE? We're getting ready here to start live from the lounge. Just sit back, relax, grab a beverage, grab a snack. We're going to try to cover everything here on Guardian of Chaos on the YouTube channel, and of course at Big Daddy GOC on Twitter in real time. I'm even going to give you a little history of War Games and how it all started as we get ready to start here for the WWE. Then, now, and forever. So we don't want any copyrights. I'll continue to be a one-man show, unedited, unique, unscripted, raw, live-to-tape reality TV. No paywalls, no Patreon, no super chats. It is what it is. I'll give you the good, the bad, and the ugly here tonight for the Survivor Series. Here we go. It's going to be a slobber knocker. I already said it in the first part, or as the kids say today, a banger. We all know we're Survivor Series, not Survivor Series for the WWE, as they open up with Ozzy Osbourne as the theme here. It's pretty nice, so I have to continue to keep talking over the introduction here for War Games. The first War Games we know was invented or thought up or created by the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, Stardust himself. Back in '87, Jim Crockett Promotions, NWA. And who could forget the legendary War Games to begin with? The first one, I believe, was in the Omni in Atlanta, and then the Orange Bowl in Miami. The Road Warriors, Nikita, Dusty, Paul Ellering against the Four Horsemen and JJ. That's where it all started. And then they went on to have a series of like the first 3 or 4 original War Games, and they even brought in the War Machine, which we know now under the mask, and we knew back then that it was Big Bubba Rogers, Ray Traylor, if you will, the big boss man that was the War Machine in that first 3 or 4 series of War Games, which, if you remember correctly, I took some notes on this, and I go back because I have the original tape from the War Games downstairs in the bunker at Chaos Corner. The original War Games was coined Match Beyond. War Games, the Match Beyond. And of course, we know that Dusty got that idea from the movie with Mel Gibson, Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. So let those thoughts run through your head. I give you a little history here before we start with the WWE here in 2022. So those are the notes that I wanted to put out. And originally, like I said, the first War Games, '87, Jim Crockett Promotions, NWA, and the Omni in Atlanta. The second War Games, I believe, was at the Orange Bowl in Miami. The other War Games was at the UIC Pavilion in Chi-Town. And then I believe the debut of the NWA in War Games, Bunkhouse Brawl, at the Nassau Coliseum in Long Island. So the history, go out and research that. You guys will find it interesting. It really is. And again, the first ones with Hawk and Animal and Dusty and Nikita teaming up, and with Precious Paul Ellering, their manager, against, it was the Horsemen with Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard, and Lex Luger, and J.J. Dillon. And then again, once J.J. got hurt in that first one, which was really unbelievable, and the one in the Orange Bowl as well, they brought in the War Machine. So I'm still trying to talk through the opening here, because that's what I do. I make it relatable. One man, reality TV, that's what you get here. The good, the bad, and the ugly. There's the War Games cage going down over the 2 rings that's going to be here in Boston. Again, the stone's throw from 91 to 84 right up the highway. A supercard Survivor Series. Speaking of that, the WWE purchased WCW, the former NWA, which went to WCW in 2002. So they purchased the rights for War Games back then, but the first War Games in history for the WWE was 2017 for NXT when they were debuting it for the NXT takeovers. So let that sink in. They went about 15 years before they used the War Games concept and then put it into Survivor Series now. Live from Boston, Massachusetts, a lot of local podcasters, fans, talent are all up there right now in Boston, I'm sure. So I just wanted to give you the beginning here as we got Michael Cole, we got Corey Graves. It's 8:05, 8:06 Eastern Standard Time, a nice opening with Ozzy Osbourne. And they're standing in front of the cage. You can hear the sirens. So this is a nice setup. This is nice to see. And let's see what's going to happen, what Triple H has planned for tonight. A lot of people say this is going to be a statement show. You guys know I moderate for the #1 fucking podcast on YouTube, and that's JD from New York, 206. JD and Off the Script. And of course, I also moderate for the OG of podcasting, Don Tony. You guys aren't going to want to miss me also on Chi-Town Smart with Heel Jesse. So I moderate over there, so I learn a lot from a lot of these different channels. Let's go over the official rules for War Games. 2 teams will be contained in separate cages with 1 member of each team starting the match. After 5 minutes, a member from the advantaged team will be released to enter the match. After a 3-minute period, so on and so forth. That's what happens here till we get all 10 men or women into the ring, and then that's when the War Games, and originally the Match Beyond, it used to be, starts. The War Game starts. And we're opening up here at a little after 8 p.m. It was at 8:06, 8:07 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And who comes out? They're starting off with the War Games women's match. And it's Becky Lynch. No more hobbits, as I said in the earlier video, and all that craziness she was doing. I have no idea what she was doing with that gimmick, but she's back now as the Man, which I get it. She's a little tougher, but it never worked with me. The Man as a woman. Okay. So we're starting off with the women's match here right now on War Games. It's going to be, and again, a lot of conjecture here. People were talking about Beth Phoenix. They were talking about maybe Ripley switching teams. I know I had said that. People were trying to correct me. They were talking about who was going to come back and be. Maybe it was going to be the biggest rumor of all, Sasha Banks, right? Sasha. Mercedes Varnado. We'll see when Sasha's coming back. So Becky Lynch opens up War Games, and here comes Alexa Bliss. Alexa, don't go off right now. Alexa, not here. It's right here in the office. I know JD did it from Off the Script, but it's right here too. It happens to me. And here comes Asuka, one of my personal favorites as far as female talent. Konnichiwa, bitches. And you know the GOC Big Daddy stance. I tell it like it is. You don't like it, change the channel. I support women's rights, women in sports, women against women, men against men. Take that for however you want. You don't like it, change the channel. I'm allowed to say what I want to say here. So this is what we're starting off with. Yes, and I even have some notes for tonight's matchup because I don't follow the WWE as tightly as I used to. It's been a long time. Okay, 50 years as a fan, smart, Mark Scout. Yeah, I said it. 30 years pro wrestling manager, still involved currently in the business with Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling, which is throwing the Ray Hercules Hernandez Memorial Tournament tonight in honor of Power and Glory with Roma and the late, great Hercules Hernandez. Unbelievable. Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling in the shadows of Titan Towers. And I believe this is our third annual Hercules Hernandez Memorial Tournament tonight. So let that sink in. As I said, the phrases that I keep using from other people. I have my own phrases. Here's Bianca Belair. Here's Asuka, twirling the hair. So this is what we're opening up with. It's Team Bianca all into the cage here. Bianca Belair, Becky Lynch, Alexa Bliss, Asuka, Mia Yim, and of course it's Damage Control. Bayley, Dakota Kai, Io Sky, I think that rhymes. Nikki Cross, the former Nikki Ash, and Rhea Ripley, who I've become a fan of because of the whole teaming up with Dominic and where that's going, and with Finn Balor and Damian Priest. That's caught on with me. I like her look and her ability. And we just saw earlier in the pre-show, because tonight Rousey's putting on the SmackDown Women's title, speaking of women's division, against Shotzi, there with Shayna Baszler. Talk about scaring the rats off cheesecake, making onions cry, but 2 tough ladies, Baszler and Rousey. Now, here we go. We're being introduced with Damage Control. We're coming up on almost 10 minutes on this segment, so I may cut this off, come back live to tape. And here comes the entrance. Out first for Damage Control is Rhea Ripley. What a beast of a woman with that goth look and the whole act that's going on with her and Rey Mysterio, Dominic Mysterio right now. This is a good way to start open. I'm glad Bianca Belair is the first one that's in the double rings. So it looks like Ripley will be first in for Damage Control. Well, maybe not. No, she's going in the cage. So Bianca's going to start off. So I'm assuming then it'll be Bayley that'll be starting off. Here's Nikki Cross. So we're going through the entrances here. I gave you the history of War Games. We're starting off with the women's War Games. It is what it is. I support women's wrestling, female sports, as I said, women's sports, women's rights in sports. Nikki Cross up to the top of the cage here. They're all getting in the cages before they get into the ring. Stand by. WWE Survivor Series War Games live to tape at Chaos Corner with it's me, it's the GOC. I'll wait for both teams to be fully announced and then look at Rhea doing the chin-ups and the pull-ups in the cage. Wow. I'll let both teams be introduced. I'll stop on this. We'll come back live to tape. I'll put this up on YouTube as a premiere, and then I'll put it up on Twitter and clips as my predictions. I like to put out there. That's what I've been doing. And here comes Bayley, Io Sky, and Dakota Kai. So all three will be coming out. So we have the 10 women out here now. War Games is going to start up. So I'm glad you guys are here. But don't go anywhere. We got a night in front of us. What are we starting off with here? I don't want to get too close. The camera puts, 10 pounds on you? Probably put 20 on me. It's 10 after 8. 8:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All the rest of you people on the different coasts are going to have to figure it out for yourself. Okay, wait. Let's see who's starting here. It's not Bayley. It's Bianca Belair in the double rings right now, and Dakota Kai is starting off. An interesting choice here. The cage is open. Belair is in there, and here comes Dakota Kai, and they're getting ready to. And here we go. War Games is about to start. The women's match. Don't go anywhere. I'll be back and putting everything up. It's Dakota Kai, Bianca Belair, WWE Survivor Series War Games from Beantown with the Guardian of Chaos. Bianca's tremendous athlete. There's the bell. I'll be right back.